So, I'm going to tell you the story of Saddam Hussein, the man who shaped the politics of Middle East.
فإذا لما الشخص الرئيسي يريحكم في القول
The court process
إنه هو
and how
مسؤول
it went down.
بعد ايش رايحين على هالناس هاي ومحتجيها بتفتشون عن
His
مسؤول.
attempt as the president to take the highest responsibility in the case that he was facing in Iran, and also his attempt to save his fellow co-accused who are part of his family and part of his inner circle.
Saddam and other defendants railing at the judge, defense lawyers tussling with guards, the first chief judge resigning after a whispering campaign that he was too soft. Here's Barzana Tikriti, Saddam's half-brother and intelligence chief, hauled into court in his underwear.
We don't want to sit here. We refuse to attend this trial without our lawyers.
At one point, the entire defense team boycotted the trial because one lawyer was manhandled out of the room by guards. The court then appointed its own choice of defense lawyers, an extreme step which could prejudice a fair trial.
We've already chosen our lawyers. They withdrew from the court after being beaten in front of your own eyes, Judge.
Who hit them?
The head of the Jordanian Bar Association was struck right in front of you.
Who hit them? Nobody hit them.
The lawyer who was thrown out of court was Saleh Al-Armouti, head of the Jordanian Bar Association. He is scathing about the new chief judge.
It is unheard of, either in the Iraqi judicial system or anywhere else. It's unheard of that lawyers are attacked and forced out of court by security personnel.
He says the old chief judge, Rizgar Amin, resigned because of political interference.
Judge Rizgar, who represents Iraq and the Iraqi judiciary, refused to bow to threats and orders to deny the defendants the rights granted to them by the Geneva Conventions and by Arab and international laws.
Most of the time, the main defense lawyers are not even in Iraq because it's just too dangerous for them. 2 have already been assassinated, so they're here in Amman in neighbouring Jordan. Saddam's chief lawyer, Khalil Ad-Dulaimi, says his client cannot have a fair trial inside Iraq.
I don't think the solution is to move the trial abroad, but if we must have a trial, we cannot have a just and fair trial inside Iraq. I'd rather it were cancelled and a settlement reached. Otherwise, it should be moved abroad.
One of the British lawyers who trained the judges of the Iraqi Special Tribunal, Stuart Alford, says news clips of courtroom chaos don't do justice to the proceedings. Much of the time is being spent on painstaking, detailed giving of evidence, as the prosecution tries to prove that Saddam Hussein was personally responsible for ordering the execution of 148 men after an assassination attempt in 1982 in the town of Dujail. Even Alford has concerns about fairness.
I think they have a structure which is capable of delivering a fair trial, and I truly believe that these judges want to deliver a fair trial. I've no doubt, having spent the time that I have with them, that they are determined that there is a fair trial. Whether they actually manage to deliver a fair trial, we will have to see once the process has reached its conclusion. Interference from the Iraqi government is clearly a worry, and what we have heard over the last 6 weeks or so is troubling. That the first presiding judge resigned, in part because he felt there was interference, and that's a worry if that is right.
But he says defendants in big crimes against humanity trials like this often try to disrupt the court to make the proceedings look like a farce.
People in this situation will find ways to disrupt the proceedings. In Rwanda, the accused would often disrupt the proceedings either by sacking their lawyers very regularly, so the court was always left in a situation when their trial lawyers were never up to speed with the case, or making applications which slowed things down. There was one series of applications because the food wasn't good enough.
At least Iraqis can follow the trial on television and, at least in theory, make up their own minds about whether it's fair or not. That never happened in Saddam's time. The coverage which comes through the state broadcaster Al Iraqiyya is not quite live. There's a 20-minute delay, and a few times when the courtroom chaos has got out of hand, the feed has simply been cut.
Our next story is going to be about the mad dog of the Middle East. And this is Car254. Subscribe on YouTube at Car254. And I'm going to talk about the Libyan president. His bads and his goods. His other side and the side you don't know about. My take and the take of the world, the take of the American forces, and the take of the non-aligned treaty organization, that is NATO, that brought down the once tyrant as they claimed. My take that this was a president of an independent nation, and a nation deserves and has the right to own its sovereignty. My take is going to be on our coming video. An extract of our coming video is this video, and it's this part. And this part speaks and tells you why Gaddafi was brought down. This is Car254. Subscribe on YouTube, follow us on TikTok and on Facebook.
يعني لو تكون محكمة مغلقة من وراء الستار أنت ما كنت تحكي هالعبارة.
تقول لي أنه على حق أنا.
تقعد مكانك. تقعد مكانك.
لا تقول لي هالشكل.
اقعد مكانك. اقعد مكانك. هو أنت مرعب. اقعد.
اسمك اريد اسمك الكامل، تفضل انطينا اسمك.
ما تعرف اسمي؟
انا اعرف اسمك، مو ما اعرف اسمك. هسه تنطينا اسمك لو لا؟
لا ما اعطيك اسمي، لانه اسمي معروف للعراقيين وللعالم.
وكلت الاساتذه المحامين؟
نعم.
سجل المتهم صدام حسين.
صدام حسين المجيد رئيس جمهورية العراق والقائد العام للقوات المسلحة المجاهدة. أنا صدام حسين أخو هدلة وأخو الشعب. أنا مباشر وصريح. أنا مو بحال العطف.
رجل كبير بالعمر.
أنا مو بحال العطف. شوف إذا تريد ترهبني والله ألف مثلك ما يرهبون أصبعي.
نعم محكمة. نعم أنا أقول لك محكمة. لو مو محكمة ما كنت ما تفضل تبكي ساعة كلمة علينا عن
والله الأمريكان فلا تقدر لا أنت ولا أبوك يجيبني إلى مكان هذا.